Alright, today's video is going to be about how we can make our hanging baskets last long, get you through basically your whole warm season. I see a lot of people buying your pre-made hand baskets at your big box stores, and they get burnt up pretty quick. Sometimes within a few months, they go to looking pretty bad. In this video, I'm going to kind of show you of ways you can kind of keep them looking good throughout the entire warm season. Well, the first biggest problem is those pre-made hanging baskets. The little basket they come in is really, it's too small. It doesn't allow enough room for the roots. There's not enough soil there to really hold on to any moisture. They really need to water almost like twice a day because there's just not a whole lot there to hold anything. And they also get depleted on nutrients pretty fast. So the first thing I would say is I kind of recommend you make your own hanging baskets, or just buy a bigger hanging basket. Take that pre-bought one, take all that dirt, soil the plant out, and repot them with more soil, and then add a few things, which is I'm going to cover, or make your own. But if you're dead set on, hey, I'm going to buy a pre-made one, I'm not going to put it into a bigger basket, some of these tips could still help you prolong the life of it. This is really going to be beneficial if you make your own, or you're willing to repot them. So my wife made both of these. We've had them up for probably a couple months now. We've done these for 3 or 4 years now. These baskets, the actual baskets themselves, we bought them at Aldi's. We've had for 3 or 4 years, and they've held up just fine. So they weren't expensive. Aldi's isn't an expensive store. So one of the first things I'm going to say is use a good quality potting mix. So if you got your bigger box stores, I think Miracle-Gro is probably one of the better products to have. This is the moisture control product. You can see it has some stuff added to it to help it hold on to a little more moisture. And so instead of having to water every day when it's in the 70s or 80s, it's like you have to water now every other day, so 3-4 times a week. Still need to water every day when you're in those 90-degree full sunny days, but it's still holding on to moisture definitely better than just a regular potting mix. And some of the potting mixes at your nurseries are actually pretty good. And a lot of times some of the premium potting mixes that nurseries have are better than something like Miracle-Gro. But at your big box stores, Miracle-Gro is your better brand product than some of the bottom barrel stuff. So what we like to do is we take our basket, we take all that soil, fill it up with that soil. Then we'll add a handful of a product like Flower Tone. You can use Plant Tone, Garden Tone, all pretty much the same stuff. And organic fertilizers, take a big old handful, mix it in with that stuff. And organic fertilizers need time to break down, but there's beneficial micronutrients in there and cultures and stuff that can help the plants out. And just mix it in there dry. I feel like it gives the plants some micronutrients. They do seem to benefit from it, and they seem to be stronger. Then we need to also talk about long-term fertilization. I really don't recommend using a organic product for like liquid fertilizer with your hanging baskets, because you're going to be watering them so much that stuff's going to run through the basket. It's going to get pretty costly. And a lot of your organic fertilizers, they're pretty smelly. So, you're going to end up with maybe some smells around your house. If you're doing it all the time, it could stain your porch, deck, wherever these baskets are hanging from. So when it comes to fertilization for hanging baskets, I do just recommend just a regular all-purpose, standard chemical fertilizer like Miracle-Gro, all-purpose. They have a plant food one, tomato one, even a flower one. You can use whichever one you would like. You come with 2 scoops. You come with the scoop, and they got the big scoop, which I believe is 1.5 tablespoons, and that is for watering stuff in the ground. 1.5 tablespoons per gallon. And you have your small side, which is one for like your house plants. What I do, I use a 2-gallon bucket, watering container, and I fill this 1.5 tablespoon side about halfway, so like 3/4 of an actual tablespoon, and I put that in my 2-gallon bucket of water, and I water these guys, and I fertilize them about every 2 weeks, every other week I do that. And that will really help keep your plants fed, allow them to produce more flowers, good green foliage, and be able to fight off, the heat and such. And if you do this, last year we had hanging baskets all the way from late April all the way up until like end of October. They actually survived 2 frosts, which was interesting, but they are hanging up. They're higher up off the ground. Cold settles so that frost didn't get to them. They lasted, you know, all season. And of course, now, if you start getting some flowers, you know, that you start getting some brown patches or little, limbs that are kind of dying off, you can always trim those off, cut it, and the plant will normally regrow and produce more. You can deadhead these if you want to, but that'd be a lot of work. We just kind of let them, fall off, and they constantly just, reproduce. Obviously, it depends what type of flowers you grow, but petunias are probably one of your more popular hanging basket flowers, especially the ones that trail and kind of just hang over. Yeah, so just to recap, use a premium potting mix. Get them out of that small basket at the store that you're buying. Use an organic fertilizer, mix them with your potting mix, helps to give them some micronutrients. Water regularly and fertilize them, every 2 weeks. You could probably stretch it out to 3, but really I'd do every other week with an all-purpose fertilizer. Keep them fed, keep them happy, and you should have hanging baskets that last you through your entire season, instead of having ones they're up for spring, summer comes along, and then they look like crap, and that's all there is to it. So anyway, short video today, guys. Hope this is helpful. Just any questions, just leave a comment.